Hey DeFi Dorks, Chris here on a lazy Sunday afternoon here in the UK where the weather is pants, and so I thought I would make a quick update video. It's been a while on how I'm getting on with VaporFi or VaporNodes, but before we dive into this, let's just watch a quick disclaimer.
Hi. Any information or opinions expressed on the DeFi Dorks YouTube channel are not to be considered or constituted as financial or investment advice. It is purely informational. Do your own research and enjoy the crypto journey.
Okay, so now that we've seen the disclaimer video, we can dive into how I'm getting on with this VaporFi, VaporNodes. So node season seems like it's come and gone perhaps. Only a few will survive. I've been following VaporFi really closely, and I do think that they are doing some really interesting things. And the DEX, which they are launching, is probably coming at the end of the month. The contracts have been submitted to audit by Certic. So fingers crossed, we will get some actual utility from the VaporFi team with the launch of the DEX. So if I just show you how I'm getting on, I've been compounding and I've done a little bit of claiming as well. Always good to take some profits. So I've managed to get my node size up now to just over 500,000, which is really good, making about $14 a day. But as the state of the price action is currently and the state of the macro markets as a whole, I'm doing a sort of a hybrid between compounding and claiming, depending on the price, letting my rewards accumulate over the course of a few days. And then if we're seeing a reasonable price, then maybe I'll do some claiming. If not, then obviously compound it back into the node, putting some trust into the long-term prospects of this as an actual project. So we just have a quick look at the markets. As you can see, I don't profess to be any sort of technical analysis expert, but it's always good to keep an eye on what's happening with Bitcoin. We've been trending, obviously, over the last few days in this sort of range. We had this fake breakout, obviously, after this massive move down that we had a few weeks ago. So the current state of the markets and the macro markets are, we're not in a good state. We've got a Fed announcement in a couple of weeks, interest rates down the toilet. We could be entering into a worldwide recession, obviously, which is not going to be good for the blue chip stocks, right the way down to altcoins, which will probably take an absolute hammering. And obviously, as our liquidity as VaporFi is tied to AVAX, then our price is now pretty much moving in sync with AVAX, which is good because it does show that the sustainability measures implemented by the VaporFi team a month ago or so is having a positive impact. We're so closely tied now with the AVAX price movement that I think once we do see AVAX pump, I mean, AVAX now is at $24. If we look at where it was, before Bitcoin collapsed, and where this could go, where it could go back to, I think we were up in the 120, I think was the all-time high. I don't know why my chart's doing that, but yeah, certainly look, we were up here at, over $140, I think, something like that. And we've been moving pretty much straight down as Bitcoin has. So as we see a positive movement, which may come in the next few weeks, if we're not entering a crypto winter, who knows? But the important thing, obviously, is to take profits as and when you can and as and when you feel comfortable, not a financial advice, but that's what I'm doing. And then we need to see what happens when they launch VaporDEX, which is going to provide instant and real utility. And if VaporDEX is able to just take even a microscopic amount of market share away from Trader Joe, then it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens. And there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to be able to do with your Vapor. And then obviously the launch of the Vapor chain as well. Sorry, VaporDEX native token will be Vape, I believe. And then the Vapor chain's native token will be Vapor. So you'll be able to stake and earn. And then obviously if you've been a node holder as well, when the snapshot was taken, you'll also get airdropped Vapor as well. So pretty interesting what's happening. And pretty interesting to see where this could go. Obviously, feel free to use my affiliate link in the description as well if you want to get in. The price is, rock bottom. And node season, some say it's come and gone. There are still nodes out there. I mean, I invested in Strongblock, which is absolutely down the toilet. That's been my biggest loss since I've been in crypto. But I'm still holding out high hopes for Vapor and where it could go. And the team has just been, fantastic. I cannot speak highly enough to that. So I definitely advise that you jump into the Discord server and follow them on Twitter as well. All the links left in the description. They're now doing a switch between bi-weekly updates. They'll do an AMA 1 week, and then the following week they'll release like a written report, which they've just switched today to a medium format, which if we can actually dive into, we can see where they are now. So the business development side, privacy policy and disclaimers for VaporDEX have been finalized, continuing to work on content for educational guides, looking how they're going to KYC when they do Vapor launch, which is when they'll be onboarding new projects onto the Vapor chain. And they've already done a partnership as well with Lossless, which is one of the ways that they're going to mitigate potential rug pulls from new projects launching on their chain. So that's really exciting as well. They're also developing a super secret new project, and then they're preparing the content for the Q2 quarterly report. And product development. So yeah, VaporDEX initial contracts have been submitted to audit. They've actually got the preliminary report back, I believe, and then the dev team is going to work on the fixes and then get that re-audited as well, which I think is how these sort of audits work. So that'll go to and from until it's passed. Certic was an expensive audit that was put to the community as a snapshot vote, and we passed that. I think it's all in all for all of the contracts that needs to be audited across all of the projects they're launching, about $50,000. But obviously, if we're aiming to be anywhere near as big as Trader Joe, then we need to be as professional as possible and be audited by the best. They're wrapping up the development for staking and farming. That's going to be really interesting as well. My sort of long-term plan is to wait for a higher price, and then as we move through the ebbs and flows of the markets, is just to compound when price is low and then claim when price is high. But there's going to actually be a way that you can stake your VPND. So I may claim some VPND, turn that into vape, and then I could stake the vape and earn USDC against the fee profits generated from the DEX as well. So really interesting to see how that all comes together. And as and when that happens, quite exciting. It could be in the next sort of 2 to 4 weeks. So that launch is imminent, which is why I feel in a good position I am with my node size as it is, and I'm just playing price action against itself basically at the minute. Vapor launch will be interesting as well, and then they're developing the website as well. With they're doing some pre-market launch once the UI for the is ready. So yeah, really interesting. Like I said, make sure you follow them along on their Discord server. You'll get all the announcements that you need in there, and they're keeping the community pretty much bang up to date, which is really good to see. And finally, I just wanted to just do a shout out to a new Discord server which I'm in. The invite link is in the description, and this place is called Cardinal House. Okay, so I've chatted to the two guys that are run it. This guy Zach, and then I don't believe his name is Jojo actually, but yeah, these two chaps, they seem pretty cool, and this project seems really interesting. So I think Discord is a really good port of call for new projects and for places to get sort of questions answered. Obviously, to dive into individual projects, Discord servers is good. They can be toxic at times. You do need to be careful. There'll be a lot of sort of moon boys for any given project inside the Discords, but a Discord that's not specific to one project, although Cardinal House is aiming to be a project of its own, but that's not its sole purpose. Its sole purpose is to provide an informational place where you can find projects that have been better decrypted and understood by people with maybe a deeper understanding, where you can make more informed decisions on where you want to put your crypto investments into the DeFi space. They've also got a white paper as well, which I've linked to in the description as well. So I'm not going to dive into this today. I'll probably do a full video once I've digested all of the information to be able to deliver it to you guys. But this is really interesting. It's free to join now. I think they are going to sort of have a paid plan that's going to be linked to like an NFT as well. But yeah, I definitely recommend diving in here. They're doing weekly AMAs with new projects, and they are aiming to release their own token as well. I know they've got some interesting devs working on the project, and they've got high hopes for this. So it would be really interesting to get involved in this one early. And they're actually like monitoring pre-launch projects. I love pre-launch projects. If you can get in where there is some hype, especially if you can be early, that's where you can sort of make some really good money. And then obviously with projects that are post-launch, they can still be worth getting into, you know, if they've got good tokenomics, a good strong community and a good team behind them as well. So yeah, if this is something you're interested in, yeah, it's free to join. Use the link in the description. Hope this video has been helpful, and I'm really looking forward to sharing an update once the VaporDEX is launched, because I think it's going to be really exciting times ahead. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Enjoy.